Thank you so much for checking out the Home Recording Network. And today I am back with my second ever plugin review. Again, because these Black Salt Audio plugins are just so new, I figured it was worth it to kind of review them and show how they work. Now, today we're going to be looking at Low Control, which is their second plugin that they released. And again, I'm on the 14-day trial and have done some fiddling around with the plugin. And I'm going to tell you if I think it's worth it for you to purchase this or not. All right, so this is the plugin's interface, and let me just walk you through it a little bit. So we have two different sides here. We have the control side and then the enhance side, and these can be bypassed if we want them to. So if we just want to use enhance, we can bypass the control side and vice versa. This plugin would be mainly used on bass guitar or maybe kick drum. Probably wouldn't use it on anything else. But let's start going through the control side. This would be used to compress the low end of the instrument. So down here, we can select a frequency and we can compress anywhere below whatever frequency we set here. We have our threshold, just like on a normal compressor, that we can bring down to add more compression. And then we also have our gain reduction meter. After we compress, we can then go in and add makeup gain to the low end that we've compressed. So after we've tightened up our low end, we can add more volume back. Now, unlike a normal compressor, we cannot set the attack and release times. The product manual says that they've set the optimum attack and release times for you, so we don't really have any flexibility there. Now, I've thrown this on the bass bus, so let's just fiddle around with the control side and get the low end a little bit tighter. So we're going to just leave I think it started at 90. Let's just compress below 100 and I'll dial in some compression. Maybe add some low gain back. So let's play this with the drums at least and see how it's sounding. Pretty simple, right? So it's just very easy to use, and I know Jordan wanted to make some simple plugins, and this is a very easy way to control the low end, and I think that's great. But let's move to the enhance side. So over here, we can select the frequency we want to enhance. Usually with bass, it's around 80 hertz. And we can just dial up this knob to thicken the bass up. And what this does is it generates harmonics and helps your bass guitar to come through a little bit more on smaller speakers. So let's mess with this. We'll leave it at 80 here. And that works great. It's a simple way to get a fatter tone from your bass guitar. And I think that's awesome. What's also cool about the plugin is that you have this solo low button here, and you can solo just the low frequencies. so you can hear exactly what you're working on, and that's just a great feature. Now for my honest plugin review, I don't think I would purchase this plugin, and this may not be the case for everybody, but I already have plugins that do the exact same thing. And what this control side is really just the low end of a multi-band compressor or my lowest band. So on my bass guitars, I usually have a multi-band compressor, and this band here is basically what the low control side of that plugin is. But I can set my attack and release ratios down here if I want. So I got a little bit more flexibility with a multi-band, and I can add my makeup gain back. I can just solo this band and listen to what I'm working on. So the left side of low control, I really have taken care of. But if you're not good with a multi-band compressor, then I think this side of the plugin is very useful for people who are having a hard time controlling the low end in their music. And it's the same with the enhanced side. This just seems to be a copy of RBass, which mostly everybody uses, where you can set the frequency and decide how much of the harmonics you want added into the instrument. Now, having said that, I do think there are engineers out here that could really use this plugin. I just don't struggle with controlling the low end in my songs, and I have plugins that do the exact same thing as this plugin. But for people who, like I said, aren't good at using a multi-band, it's kind of a simple way to control the low end. And if you don't have RBass, this is like two plugins in one, so it could really work out great for you. It seems like Black Salt Audio may be targeting people who are kind of newer to mixing, which is completely fine. Like I said in my last video, if you're a beginner, these are pretty good plugins, but if you've been doing this for 10, 15 years, you most likely already have some of this stuff taken care of. That being said, the simplicity of the plugin is great, and I think they did a good job. Hey guys, if you found this video helpful, be sure to download your free home studio mix guide with your go-to EQ and compression settings for all your tracks. Also, feel free to register for my free online mix training that I hold a couple times a week so you can learn how to make radio quality music from your home without breaking the bank.